activities that are taking place, and of course quite lots of meat being sold in here and quite so many other related consumer products. That's on the ED day, and of course according to the look of things, as always we expect that it should be always at the peak. Of course it's busy as always, but today it's quite on yet on another level when it comes to business activity, and definitely we anticipate that everything should go as well as anticipated. Of course it was yesterday when it was announced, and there was quite a lot of congestion that's around town because people were purchasing the different related products that they need to use during that day. And today is the day, and finally some people already woke up so early to make sure that they can head to the market and come and transact in the different businesses. And of course when you take a look around here, there are quite lots of meats that are being transacted. Of course beef being the majority. Some animals are being cut fresh just right here as you're getting to observe. So that is the situation, how it is looking like here at the abattoir on the Port Bell Road. Serious business moving on here, and a majority probably of the meat that wasn't being sold as much today, they are going to get quite lots of market. Of course, for those that love offers, just all the way displayed quite on a big scale, so you can come and purchase. And this could be quite a blast for you for the day, and that is quite very essential for that. But of course, also looking at the personnel that are doing the business, of course, they are really excited. They're doing business in absolute excitement, getting to show you that it's quite very profitable on such a day. And maybe some of them could be the day when they actually book the stalls to come and sell the meat. But that is the situation. Quite very, very interesting, as we're observing in just right here. And of course, very early in the morning, but very congested. But we anticipate as time goes on, it's going to be a little bit even much more congested than that. And of course, when I walk around here, trying to see the situation, still you get to see many people going to the different stalls. And the funny thing is that there is no competition here. Whatever you sell, you'll be on a sure deal that it's going to be sold out there, and people will be in position to actually make some good money in here. Of course, still watching Smart24 your daily Kickstarter for the day, as we take you through this entire area, trying to observe what is really happening in here. And yes, quite many people making line to buy meat, and of course we can see it's quite very busy and very profitable for most of the people. If we are to walk around here, quite a very, very good feeling for the business community. This is what we are observing. And of course, I'm trying to walk around, but it's quite, I got some meat smeared on my shirt, but that is what is happening. That is what we call business, a business area, and that is what you anticipate to happen on such a day when business is moving really to the maximum. And quite many stalls, like I told you, and we anticipate that business is going to be done for the best and to the maximum. Very interesting, according to the look of things, and this is the situation, how it's going to be like the entire day, regardless of whether profitable, but it will be profitable at the end of the day. Probably I can try to get in touch with some people as we get to have a discussion regarding what is happening. Olunaku olwotegeko dotya olina business wano
ndi musuubuzi wa ntemu kifo kinene
osubira olunaku lwaleero lunatambula lutya
olunaku olwaleero lubadde terutegeerekeka nga EID bwebeera nti eba esuubirwa busuubirwa naye kitusanze ng'ente ntono ennyama n'erinnya nnyo okusinga etwadde tugisuubira ti demand weeri ate ng'ente zazze entono. People are responding positively. Era we tuli tukola mirimu gyaffe.
Naye nga tusuubira olunaku lunaagenda mu maaso abantu bajja kujja bagula ennyama.
Abantu olwedde bazze dda kuva saa 6
jo
ogw'ekiro bazze ne bagula ennyama era ne bagenda.
Kakati kino kitera kubeerawo ku EID abantu okujjula ekifo kino oba n'ennaku endala business esigala etambula nga bulijjo oba si kipya.
You can definitely see on your screen there a little bit of an interruption with this audio. It's a busy day in Bugolobi by the look of things. Does seem to be very busy. Of course, everyone is trying to move in. We do have people who are actually trying to buy. We have people actually buying to take to their butchers and everything. The people who are actually buying for family. The people who are actually going to buy to take to mosques. So it's a Friday, and on Fridays is when, of course, most of the activations, and of course, it's a day when you get to realize that the Muslim community has always been having prayers on Friday. But also, besides that, it coming on a day like EID Day, the question is however staying in the fact that how ready was the abattoir for such a day, because we do understand that not only one in Bugolobi, by the look of things on such days, this is the most busiest kind of business. That is the butcher sort of business. Those who are actually dealing in things to do with the eatery, people who are actually selling goat's meat, people who are actually selling beef, the cow's meat and everything. These are people who normally makes quite some good money during such celebrations. Not only on EID, if you to look back, Easter, you look at Christmas Day celebrations and all that, these are days when you realize that there is a lot of traffic on that is in the abattoirs, in the markets, when it comes to for example, if you're to look at when it comes to people actually buying cow's meat and the goat's meat. And of course, Andrew earlier on did mention of the fact that he was he actually got blood split on his shirt. That clearly shows you that it is a busy day. Everyone out there clearly shows you that they are doing something to at least see that they get some money. And of course, if you're if you're not careful, you can easily land into a panga also. But of course, as we try to observe the kind of the EID Day celebrations for such a day, the question does remain, however, is how are you celebrating your EID Day for today? You can easily see. And of course, one may clearly mention and ideally want to understand that how healthy is the area. That is how things happen behind closed doors, for those who don't know, or for those who are actually wondering what really happens at the abattoirs and what happens on the ground. So that means every time when you get in touch with, so every time when you get to realize what is happening from the abattoirs, first of all, when you get this meat, all you need to know is make sure that at the end of the day, you have to first of all wash it clean because you can easily see the environment and a little bit filled up with lots of what you could call cow residue and stuff like that. But it's EID Day celebration, so you easily see it is the Muslim community that is easily trying to get us back onto that. But a little bit more, let's try to understand what Andrew has got to say in regards to that.
Right there, and you're probably thinking, what can I do on such a day? Well, you could come and get a stall here and you will be in position to actually make some good money. And of course, away from meat, quite some other aspects are sold here, as we can take a look at fruit. But of course, the demand mainly will be rotating around the meat that is being sold around here, since it's what majority consume. And you know, majority of the Muslims have quite big families. They are good at sharing. Yes, when it comes to sharing, they are really perfect at that. So that's why majority buy the meat in large quantities to make sure that they can take to their families home and celebrate. But still, at the end of the day, once that is being done, business is coming and they are making some good money. And probably some of them, it's the time to redeem the lost days of not being profitable when it comes to business execution. And that explains why we are seeing what we are observing right here down at the business. Still watching Smart Means Business, your daily Kickstarter, where we bring you the latest in what is happening around business. Where do you want to invest money? And of course, such a day, this is quite a very good example for you to take a look at what is happening right here for the day. Very profitable, and we anticipate that it's going to be even much more profitable as the day moves on, as we are observing the business activity here at the abattoir. Yes, quite interesting. Still moving around, definitely, as we are about to sum up this. Of course, quite see border borders packed in here. Of course, some have come to pack huge sums of meat to take them to the different homes and destinations, and that is quite also business and profitability at the same time, according to what we are observing here. Very interesting, quite very interesting business. I'm moving on here, and as we are summing up this, quite good for you, to all our Muslim brothers, wherever you are. And of course, as you're going to celebrate these celebrations, ED celebrations, yeah, this is the moment. And all the Muslim businessmen who have come here and in different abattoirs transacting business, it's quite very, very amazing and very, very incredible. Well, to all our Muslim brothers and families out there, we would want to wish you a happy ED day from Smart24 TV. Back to studio with Joran.
All right, and that is Berija Andrew from the City Abattoir in Bugolobi, trying to give us more of what is really happening with the kind of, which kind of atmosphere is being felt around there as the ED Day celebrations kick off here in the country. Well, besides that, now let's get into the latest from sports business this morning. Right now, speaking sports, we start off from South Africa, where SuperSport has landed rights to the leading table tennis events. The paid television broadcaster SuperSport, which is mainly the pay TV broadcaster for sporting events in Sub-Saharan Africa, has acquired exclusive rights across the Sub-Saharan Africa for the World Table Tennis Championships Finals and the World Table Tennis Series. Now, the deal will run until December 2024 and will see SuperSport broadcast the events across all its platforms. It's a big win for SuperSport and, of course, a big win for South Africa. And not only is it a big win for South Africa or for SuperSport, as of September the 29th, 2020, Durban had defeated German to bid and secure the 2023 World Table Tennis Championships. And now, this year's World Table Championships or World Table Tennis Championships will be hosted by the city of Durban in South Africa. Now, besides that, the South African city will be hosting the International Table Tennis Federation's 2023 World Championships Finals. The ITTF's annual general meeting, which was held in 2020, saw member associations vote 90-39 in favor of Durban's bid after Durban was actually competing with Dusseldorf of Germany. Meaning that the federation's most prestigious event will be held in South Africa and this year for the first time, having last set foot in Africa in 1939, that was in Cairo, Egypt. Now, also, as SuperSport wins the broadcast rights to this, this is actually a big win for South Africa. And of course, these particular ones will be heading in this very year, and SuperSport will be the major broadcast partner for the same. All right, now lastly, from sports business, we now turn our eyes to the Netherlands, as the Dutch government is planning online gambling sponsorship ban by 2025. Last week, we apparently got to look at, earlier this week, not last week, we apparently got to look at the fact that the English Premier League teams had come to an understanding that by the 2025 English Premier League season, no English Premier League top side will have to wear a betting sponsor at the front of their shirt. Now, the online gambling sponsors in Dutch sports organizations are set to be phased out following the government's planned ban on untargeted advertising from the start of July this very year. Now, the ban aims to better protect vulnerable groups, including young people, from the risk of gambling addiction. Remember, gambling has always been an addiction for some. And of course, governments have always been pushing for the same agenda and definitely reminding people that it's not wise for anyone to easily get in or try to, if I'm to put it in that way, to at least treat gambling as an addiction. So governments are fighting that this should not be that way. And well, so by 2025, the Dutch government intends that this will be pushed out and phased out. And as we're summing up with sports business though, allow me to take you through some of the results as they were transpiring yesterday night in regards to football in Europe. Now, the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League were played yesterday. Sporting Lisbon, that eliminated Arsenal in the round of last 16, was eliminated by Juventus by 2-1 in aggregate after a 1-1 draw yesterday in Portugal at the Sporting Stadium. So Juventus did qualify by 2-1, having won the first leg by 1-0 in Turin. Now, besides that, Sevilla and Man United. Man United was eliminated by 5-2 on aggregate, having drawn 2-2 at Old Trafford last week and losing out to Sevilla by 3-0 yesterday in Spain. Now, besides that, AS Roma defeated a 10-man Feyenoord by 4-1, meaning AS Roma qualified by 4-2 on aggregate, having lost away by 2-1. Having lost away by 1-0 in the first leg. Now, Union Saint Gilloise, of course, also lost at home to Bayer Leverkusen by 1-4, and the total of aggregate was 2-5, having had the first leg in a 1-1 draw at the Bayer Leverkusen. Now, the teams that have qualified for the final four or the semi-finals includes Juventus and AS Roma, 2 teams from Inter Milan, so that means 2 teams from Italy. So that means Italy has got 4 teams in the semi-finals of the top European championships, including 2 of them having to play against each other in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, that is Inter Milan and AC Milan. Now, also the other teams that have qualified for the semi-finals are Spain is Sevilla and Germany is Bayer Leverkusen in there, going into the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Now, off to the Conference League, West Ham United defeated Gent by 4-1 at the London Stadium, and the aggregate is by 5-2, so that means West Ham are in the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League. And also Fiorentina qualified to the semi-finals with a 6-4 aggregate, having lost at home to Lech Poznan by 2-3. Then AZ Alkmaar and Anderlecht all enjoy the stalemate after AZ Alkmaar won by 2-0. So that means the aggregate was 2-2, and AZ Alkmaar defeated Anderlecht by 4-1 in penalty shootouts. Now, Nice and Basel. Nice lost at home to FC Basel by 2-1, and that means FC Basel qualified to the semi-finals by 4-3 in there. So we have 4 teams already in the UEFA Conference League. The teams include AZ Alkmaar, FC Basel from Switzerland. We have West Ham from England, and then we've got Fiorentina from Italy. Italian football still on top of European football by the look of things. All right, now away from that, that's it for Sports Business this morning. When we return after the break, I'll be joined by Andrew Barigi as we'll be getting deeper into understanding the business insight this time around, as the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development yesterday did release the funds for the next quarter, or for the 4th and last quarter of the financial year 2022-2023. More of that to come after the break. Good morning.